Hello ladies and gents. I'm doing a quick video today about 3 things that British culture could steal from Catalan culture, or Mediterranean culture as you prefer. It's not a criticism of anything or anyone, it's just I've been over here nearly 7 years and it's just a way for me to make some observations about the culture and things that I've noticed here that we could actually adopt over in Britain to make it a little bit better. The first one, just cut into the chase very quickly, is the sense of community that people have over here. If you saw my San Jordi videos, you'll see how the whole town turned out for a local party. And that's something that really has disappeared in Britain over the last 20-30 years. I remember bonfire night when we used to have big parties, Christmas carols going around the streets and singing and going to people's doors. Now there doesn't seem to be very much of that, and the towns don't really do much. I'm from a town of about 30,000 people, and there was never anything like that. We never had a town party. Each town here, apart from the national holidays, they also do a local town party, and they all come together. It's a big like disco club kind of thing in the town centre, with food, activities. They bring in a fair. It's a huge big thing, and they do that in every single town around here, and it's just one party after the next in various towns. In the big cities, for example, Barcelona, each neighbourhood has their own party. So there's so much going on all the time, and it really does help create a sense of community within the community. So that's definitely one thing I think that Britain could look at improving, because there just isn't any of that, to be honest with you. The second point, which I think is really good over here, is where people do their drinking. Look, I've drunk enough beer and wine in my life to sink a small island, so it's not a criticism of drinking as such. But here you'll notice that in the town centres on a Friday and a Saturday, if you walk around there at night, there's nobody really drinking. It's all families having dinner or just walking around, enjoying the atmosphere of the town. The drinking all gets done outside of town in the industrial estates. And they've got all these industrial units converted into clubs and bars. So if you want to go and do that, it's exactly the same as in Britain. All the revelry and all the fun and games that goes on there. But they do it outside of the town centres, so it's always nice and clean in the town centres. Families can go out and have dinner together. There's none of that kind of town centre tomfoolery where there's people stumbling around at 11 o'clock at night. So I think that would be a huge big help in Britain, because let's face it, when was the last time you took your family out on a Friday night if it wasn't for a session? You going for dinner or whatever, especially with young kids, you're not going to do it, basically. And speaking of kids, the third point, which I think is really cool here, and equally it gives me pause for thought because I'm not quite sure on it, but let me just quickly explain. Here, after school, kids will generally do a lot of extracurricular activities. The reason being, they finish school at, for example, 4 o'clock. Parents work till about 8. So they've kind of got a lot of dead time. So what do? A lot of them go to language academies. A lot of them do football or dance or whichever activity it may be. And you don't see kids standing around kind of loitering on street corners or getting into bad habits. Again, not making any judgmental comments there. It's just, it is what it is, right? They're all there busy doing healthy activities until the evening when their parents can come get them. I'm a bit torn on it because equally I think, well, kids need to be kids, right? You're having a lot of fun just hanging around with your friends. I spent a lot of time playing in the forest around by where I live and just doing kids stuff. But equally, you know, you can get into bad habits doing that. And I don't see that with kids here. They're all very healthy. They do their stuff. I mean, they have cigarettes and they drink and whatnot, but it's just not on the same level as in the UK. So, and the flip side of it, of course, is some parents go overboard. I mean, their kids doing activities till 10 o'clock at night, which again is not ideal. But I think that on balance, really pushing kids into the extracurricular activities and keeping them busy and keeping them out of trouble really helps them later on in life. They just do not get into the bad habits that a lot of British kids do. Right, that's it for now. I will do the reverse. I'm going to do something that Mediterranean culture could borrow from British culture as well. So there, it is a balanced argument, and I'm not criticizing anybody personally or anything. It's just cultural observations. All right, thanks a lot for tuning in. See ya.